Hello. Now then, welcome back. This is episode 15 of our Emberpelts playthrough on the Hiding from the Rainstorm map. Today, we are going to hope the game runs, because there has been an update with several new things, which we will not be doing in this one. But I have had some issues getting it to load, but here we are, we're in. Let's get them running around. We have a drought approaching in half a day, which isn't too much of a concern for us. Not with this giant vat water here. I have had some thoughts of how to tweakify this area just a tiny bit. I think originally my thoughts were to have this as our sort of main area for, well, just water and a bit of industry and not much all else. But gonna change that tact slightly. We do need to fix this here bit. Let's just slide that in just to connect all these. I expect this is going to drain this super swiftly. But I was thinking power down here, which could be a problem if this ever runs out of juice. Now, will it run out of juice? Probably not. But it might. So it may be worth putting in some wheels here. Now, I don't think we're going to get... that's the wrong thing altogether. Don't think we're going to get too much power running out of this thing, if I'm totally honest. But it's some, and some are handy. Connecting it in is going to be a bit interesting for us, but we shouldn't be too concerned with that. So I think the easiest thing for us to do, although I did spend a lot of time, just in case we're splashback to put those in, we will just say goodbye to all of that. I can come get it all picked up. I don't believe that'd be too much of an issue. The other thing we can do is also say goodbye to these. Now, doing this now is probably not a wise idea, but what the hey, I'm going to do it anyway. So, we're just going to say goodbye to that. And with a yes, get my logs back. There'll be a bit of leakage, but that's fine. What we can have here, though, is half a floodgate, which we won't be able to build. I think we can have the flat one, which I believe we had before. Yes, flat top floodgate. So we get these built, like so. This thing will just be ramped straight up to 1. And in this area, we just say that stays up to there, and that should, in theory, maybe not that one, to be fair, thinking about it. Let's just fix that with a teensy bit of landscaping. Get the beavers to layers that in. Not anymore. So kaboom that. So this now can be set to 1.0, which should mean that everything will be as high as it possibly can go. Probably just take it down a slight tiny bit. And after that, this should ultimately run by clearing that. So we'll see how this runs. It may or may not work, but we'll find out together. So let me just pause it quickly. I don't know how many of these we can squeeze in. Not too many, it looks like, but we'll just tidy that up. Oof, so close to getting some more on the end. Never mind. Never mind. I don't actually think we'll get a lot out of it, but why not? Let's see what we get. I think from a power point of view, it would be just as easy to say go this way. There is a bit of a step down. Okay, that's not a problem. We can fix that. However, building it may be a bit fun. So I guess let's just say that can go there. Is it a waste of stuff? Yes. Let's just do that. It's as easy as anything. And then we can just connect these up together like so. So we'll let them get on with that. Let them get building this. And then we will connect all of these together on this side. Going to need to leave in some of the pathing here just to fix that. Rip that out. Something along those lines. That means they should be able to build everything there. We have a ton of logs for this, so I'm not too bothered if this is a waste of time. Let's just see. Ton of logs. Oh, we've used quite a bit, to be fair. You are definitely not connected to a path, so that is true. You are correct. And these aren't running because... Is it the lack of haulers? It's probably the lack of haulers, to be fair. Yes. Copy the settings. Let's run down the line like so and get all of that sorted. Cool beans. Right, so that's all been done. This will give us some throughput. So it should top up this area when it needs it, and then for the rest of it, it will drain if we need to. Leave that at 100. If we flood, we will fix that later. Now, other than that, the colony is looking good. Juices could be better. I think more presses would be good. Food, we do need to run a quick stock take of what we need to get these running. Now, where is the grill? Down in here. Bakery, sorry. It's close. So I think we have most of this stuff. Not a lot of wheat. We do need to fix production of that. That's not as high as I would like. Maple, I think, is a storage problem, which we can fix. Any of that use canola? Doesn't look like it. Cornmeal, eh? Don't think we're making cornmeal. We'll need to get invested in the old grist mills too, so that's fine. We can get them built and then tweak it some more. It's not going to be too big of an issue for us. Now let's just make sure that's set to supply, which it is. That should keep this one fed and watered, so to speak. That probably will help if that's actually topped up by someone. So this one engine is just about good enough to power all of that. If we had two more, we could have fit them in nicely, but we don't, so never mind. They look to have built that. We're going to have to be a bit careful with this, because they will probably get stuck. As is their wont. They are a fan of it. Hopefully, though, we can get them safely building that, and after that we can just hit these two across. Like so, take that out, and like so. And all of that should be reachable from the paths. Okie, so that is full of logs. This is now not full of logs, that's okay. I think it's about time we just built these. We'll resituate them somewhere else if we need to, but I don't think we need to worry too much about it. And they will need a thing set in, so what's the one thing we can't build? Let's just go back into... So we have that. We do need more storage up here, but that's okay. We could build that. Do that. So it's the cornbread we can't build. That's fine. Bring us the pies. Bring us the peppers. Bring us the beets. You can be cornbread, but we'll just pause you. Again, no staff, but we will get to them. We have 15 baby beavers and 15 spots. It's going to be a while, I think, till they're all grown up. There's a couple about to join the workforce. I think these big houses were not my wisest move, but kind of is what it is at this point. Can't do much about it. So, the other crazy thing that I want to do this time, something I thought might be fun, is getting bots on the go, because, well, we can't be getting all our beavers doing all of this tedious work of running up and down up here and all the time. So I think bots might be fun, and the little bot cave in here might be exciting to put in. Getting them down here is going to be fun and interesting. But I think with some more groundworks we should be okay. Unfortunately, it's not going to be fun and easy to actually get to, because we're going to need a two-way station to deal with this, because, well, quite frankly, doing it any other way is going to be crazy. So, let's do a quick assessment. Okay, cycle 38, that's good. What is the easiest way to get bots over this way? I was thinking of just dropping a shaft straight down and just doing it that way. And I still think that's probably the better move. We could just run the two ways over. Yeah, that's still an issue. The extra sluices I put in here did not fix that problem, but I think that's just because they're set to closed more than anything. They'll sort themselves out eventually. With the water where it is, we don't need any of this anymore, so let's... rip all of this out. It's no longer required. Surplus what our needs. It doesn't even make power anymore, so it's kind of useless. So, nice, 36. Don't know why we've got it, but we have. Oh, probably someone's finally got in here, have they? Yeah, okay. Food's on the way up. These things are actually making not enough to power that, but not bad. Not sure it'll actually work as I intend, because I think what's going to happen is that this will get pumped far faster than this can fill it up. In fact, I know it will be. We'll see how she goes. Keep an eye on it. I mean, we've got, what, 8,000 water? I think we'll be okay. We can tweak as needed. So, what's the best way to deal with this one? I think it is going to be messing around with the path in and just running something straight across here. I don't know if we can get away with... No. I don't want to... Let me just pause it a second. Yeah, it's too high. Not my most ideal way of doing it. Do we need this path? They only need it to come out here. They need that to get to this side, which I've kind of shot myself in that foot, so to speak. Okay, I think I have a cunning plan. Let's just say goodbye to all of this. Rip me those out ASAP. Thank you very much. While we're here, we may as well fix these trees. They should be replanted. These should not. You are one of those. And the rest of it should be... You definitely don't need to be cut though. Goodbye to that oak. You don't need to be. Yeah, no, you don't need to be. So take that out, and yes, copy and paste. Oakify the area. Say oakify. Not oakify. And here, this is going to cause some issues for us, just ever so slightly. Yeah, do you put the big one in or the little one? Let's just put the big one in, I think. So it's a bit of a weird stop, but this will, I think, fix the problems for us. And we'll just do like so. So once that's connected, this guy should be back on the network. So I'll keep them happy there. And we're going to basically run straight through to somewhere. Let's just peel this back a sec. Helps if I'm in the right area. So if we were to come down into here, so yeah, it's going to be a bit fun and interesting, this one, I think, because of the way the ceiling works. This may be a really stupid idea, but we're going to do it. We're going to go for it. And to find this... Oop. So here is just about where we're going to stick our two-way network. So that actually works out quite well. So that would... Let's just do that. Just get that ripped out as quickly as we can. I actually need to tell them to do that, don't I? Rip me those out, thank you very much. The builders should be able to reach that. This guy's reconnected, so happy days. Duplicate that just about there. And we are then going to start digging. And the tube network's just going to run straight through there, so we also need to rip this out, which shouldn't take them too long either. I mean, I guess if we wanted to do this super accurately... I also didn't want to do that. I did want to do that though. I guess it's actually ripping this one out just to drop it down. To keep these in line for any OCD purposes, I think that's the way to go, so just get rid of that. And alley-oop that way. Thank you very much. So we can call on that one again. Oh, that should be very much in reach, which it is. And once that's done, in theory, we don't need any of this either, so it gets us a little bit of extra space. Could just rip that out like that, and all of that. And we're good. I think for the time being, yeah, we'll just... Let's just do that. A couple extra trees, won't do anyone any harm. And we'll corn that. That really shouldn't be there, that should be ripped out actually. Should be the corn. Let's begin with this, kaboom, and repeat until we get to the bottom. Should be reachable, no concerns with that. No one in this farmhouse, which explains quite a bit actually, but never mind. And we do need to fix... Well, we need more everything really, so storage is a problem. Well, that's working slightly better than I thought, actually. That should fix that. Everything's back online there. Happy days. Cool. Yeah, it's not the most ideal, but it's free power. We'll take it. We're going to need another engine in here to do whatever we're going to do anyway, so it's not a problem. Okay, let's just take a sneaky peeky here. They've done that. Are we all the way through yet? No. Never mind. One more. Bring me the goods. Are we through now? Yes, I believe so, actually. Looks like it. Alright, cool. So, the... Something along those lines should hook us into this area quite nicely at this point. That should connect into there, and it does. And once we're in here, we're going to need to do a bit of festive decoration of the area. For that, I think we're just going to go with tunnels, because I think we need some more height for sure. So... I just want to hollow out cavern that's under here. I don't think we could dig this enough to cause any major issues. Could be wrong, but if it collapses on top of us, then it will be my bad. This may be a stupid idea, but I think the butt cave will be pretty cool, so... let's just lay those like so. We may as well harvest the wood because it's going to be in the way otherwise, so let's just do that and path like so. Don't think there's a neat and tidy way through any of this. Yes, there is. Alright, cool. So that means everything that should be reachable won't take them long to get through to that. That's too far for now, but it won't be for long. Don't know how many they've got left, but that'll be fine once that's sorted. Okay, so we do have a bit of a problem with beavers. We need a few more of them to come into the workforce, as we've got quite a bit of a job drain. How did you get wet fur? Nothing's... thing, is it not? No. So how did you get wet fur? I'm not sure. Odd. Alright, never mind. We'll just ignore it for now. I'm sure everything is fine. Just fine. So... let's just build it and then it's done and out of the way. The other thing we need from a food point of view is this. I think we can happily get this bought. We need the wheat and the cornmeal. I think for this little guy is not going to be the thing that's going to fix for us. So... to make the most of this area, we're going to duplicate this guy. Going to live there, but actually before we do that... this may be a bit of a weird, convoluted way of doing it, but... I'm just wondering if... I don't really want to take this guy out. We might have to. Yeah, I think we're going to have to. Alright, let's just... it's a bit nuts and a bit crazy, but we need to run the power in, so... maybe something like that. That should jump there. Got another drought approaching, so that's okay. Didn't need to take that out, but never mind. Get me that done, that'd be fantastic. But in the meantime, big old engine can live there. I'd like all this to go away before it probably drops into the middle of the water where we can't get it. Thank you very much. Right, build me those two things, please. And from the food-wise, the old grist mills can go here. Now, I don't know if 2 is going to be enough, but for now, I think it'll be okay. So there'll be 1,000 to run this, 200 here when it works, and then another 1,000 to run whatever industry we've got. Now, on this little guy, this is not everything, so that's fine. Let's pause you. You can make flour. You're still good. You can be paused too. And they're probably doing all of this in here. Looks like that's built, so let's take a quick look down in here, which, yep, they are. Now, we will also need to say, cut to me all of this. With any luck, we don't drop it on anyone's head, so we'll see how that works for us shortly. Kind of catching up. There's a couple about to come in, but not many. Just be fine as we are. That's not going to be a problem. Ooh, this is new. This is the latest experimental. I don't think this particular version supports all of the fancy stuff that they've added. Not the Emberpelts bit anyway, so, but we do get some of the other inputs and outputs. Interesting. Don't know what it means, but cool beans, I guess. Find out what that means at some point. We do need to get this guy running though, so let's just turn that back on, because if we're going to be buying all these bots, we're going to need to get those done at some point. Although, saying that, I don't think actually it's going to be too bad. Yes, and why not? That was a quick spend of our science, but it's okay. Old number cruncher will hook us up. So, not for 1 day, still drought. Not too concerned. Again, not with 8,000 water. See how long it is for? 5 days. No biggie. Okay, right. So let's see how far they've got underneath here. Probably could have made this a bit easy for them had we actually got everything in. Let's get someone in here. It should, in theory, we just come down to this level. If we select all of them, it should remove some of the supports and widen the cave ever so slightly. That's the theory. We'll find out. One block. Never mind. Obviously not deep enough. We have to do some shenanigans with that, but never mind. was hoping for a bit more to come off the ceiling for that, but never mind. Something like that, but it wasn't as impactful as I'd hoped. I mean, yeah, it's still pretty low. Maybe some more will come out. Doesn't look like it, to be fair. Yeah, it's kind of bit naff that, but all right. The dream of getting it sorted is probably not going to happen that quickly then. Could be just we have to build a platform for it, but that's fine. It's a longish term project. That's not a problem. I'm hoping then that they come around to this and start putting some effort into this area. With that being done. Looks like it is. Good. So let's get our haulers into that because they're going to otherwise be dry. And we just need to really assess our raw ingredients because that's basically what's missing up here. And storage, obviously. So I may move these guys down here. I think just to make things a little bit even. Like so. Should give us all of them. Apple juice, beetroot, corn, disgusting. Tomato, yes, okay. Pause these for now. And I think landscaping over here should be able to take care of all of this for us. I'd like to say goodbye to all of this area here. And then rip all this out, so goodbye to all of that. This will take them a while. Yeah, alright, yeah, let's leave it at that. So then finished juices can come up here. It's not ideal. But there is some juices, so that's fine. That was close. It's very close. But I don't think we managed to kill anyone, so that's good. All the beavers are happy and alive. Let's just get rid of you because you're annoying me. They should be able to do that from down there, which they can. I'll let them lay that in before I get too excited to get those ripped out. These don't need power, so these can get ripped out. Yes, they don't need power, so goodbye to all of that. Kaboom. Let's duplicate that. I'd like all of this to go away as well, please. Thanks very much. That may have been a mistake. May have been a mistake. Mistake fixed. All good. Nobody would know a thing. Designed for it, you see. That's exactly how it was supposed to be. I promise. Cool beans. Right, that's that done. Let's kaboom those. I think we can kaboom those. And demolish that. The plan is going to be putting in these bad boys all the way across here, just to even this out. So big tanks in the ground, big storages on top, some stairs down as appropriate. That's the plan. So what was doing that? We need big tanks for everything else. So just duplicate this. In fact, no. Duplicate. I'll just do it with this way. We will copy the settings for these. And that's the apple juice. Tomato, corn, beet, and apple. Good. Right, that's fantastic. There is a bit of dead space. I will grant you. We'll maybe do something different with that. But maybe not. But it should allow us to build big overhangs on here. Like so. Not yet, though. I will convert this. Like so. In fact, I should use a big brain for this. Let's just rip that out. This is probably a stupid idea, but rip that out. Something like that. Apple juice. Corn juice. Disgusting. Beaten radish. And tomato. Right. That is probably a bit more efficient path layout than what we had going. Plus, there's a bit of extra space here should we want to do something with it. Not much, but some. If we need more squeezers, we can put more squeezers in. So we could swap them to this side if we run some power across the way, which, you know, might not be a bad idea. Should we do that now? Oh, we need another one of these. There we go. Those tanks should do everything that we're ever going to need from a juice point of view anyway. That's the thought. Then we can get rid of that. Then we can build those across, rip these out, build these on top, and we should be able to put all of the storages up here. Probably retire these two. Just put a new station, not station, but a path in. Move these somewhere else. These are empty, so let's get rid of that. We probably are looking a bit thin for wood, I will grant you, but not the worst it could be. All this has been paused for a while, so let's... Yeah, probably should turn them back on actually, so... Although this is... should be, in theory, keeping up with everything. Let's see. This is effectively redundant at this point. Should we take it out? You should not be cut in. You should be. And you. And you. You're not an apple tree. Should give him some... Why are you here? Be gone. Perennial weed that is the oak. This could probably come out. It'd probably be a better idea if it did. I guess unless there's any trees underneath, I suppose. But let's go down here. Are you not cutting anything? Is there a reason why you're not cutting anything? Is it because holders are not doing that for you? Probably. Alright, let's just get down in here again. Yeah, I think we should be able to reach up this high. Gonna have to underpin it all. Grr. Didn't particularly want to unpin everything, underpin it, but I guess we're gonna have to. Should allow us to rip everything out that the light doesn't touch, which I guess we could have left in, but... This is going to be a bit of a mare to dig out, but we will persevere. I may do it off camera, because it's probably not an interesting watch. Do let me know though if you do want to stick around for this being carved out of solid rock, and I will happily record it. Right, with that laid, we should now be able to do this. Of course, there's always two, isn't there? We don't need to worry too much about these because they'll just disappear when it gets deleted. And I guess our good friend, Ye Olde Ladder, will be able to get these guys up here. Need to be a bit cleverer with pathing, but not too much of an issue. I believe in these beavers. Right, so we'll leave them to that. That's going to be a while, but we'll just blow that out, and that should hopefully expand the cave just a little bit more. So let's just take a quick look at these. They will fit into some of this, actually. But if we can lose this level and this level, we'll be onto a winner. So we'll leave them to that. This can be emptied. You need to be obtained, which is done. You need to be a supply. So all of you need to be supplied, to be fair. So let's just fix that. What's left on there? Some bricks. Bricks are not doing well. That's okay. Probably do with production and whatnot for charcoal moved out of the way from down here as well. Can't do much with that because that has to be on solid ground, although there is solid ground here, so we could also bring that up here. Might not be a bad idea. But let's pick up all of the trash that's on the floor, get it picked up and sent wherever it needs to be sent to. I would very much like for you to not disappear. I do believe that if we were to put, wherever they are, somewhere in here, that would be a no. Ah, the clay pit's there. Kiln is there. How big are you? So I know it'd be a good idea to leave this space. Okie dokie. So you seemingly do transmit power, so that sounds good. So in that case, then it's probably worth doing this now. Something like that should connect everything up. If we need it to. We don't for this particular instance, but it will be ready for when we do want it. And they can get around to it whenever they like. And does mean we can do... I don't really want to put anything there just yet, but could do this. In hindsight, thinking about it, probably would have been better to have these guys on this side. Yeah, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. Clay's terrible. Charcoal's okay. Fuel production isn't the best, so we also need to fix that. Need to remember where that is. It's been a while since we've touched it. What do we make that in? It's down here currently. Refinery. You need no power. But you do take the corn. We do need another squeezer actually, because we can move that up here. So let's do that actually. Why have you gone away? Thank you. You will be canola oil. We do need another tank in that instance for canola oil. Probably would have been better if that was in fact somewhere else, but it's not too far for them to walk, I suppose. You can be for canola oil. And I guess we should probably put maple syrup in. Why? Okay. Just please be water, just pick this up. Just pick it up. Duplicate this, put that in there. You can be then for El Mapolo. Thanks very much. We've got access down there, I guess. What's going to be good for them is to also have an access this away. Something along those lines. Path is not particularly efficient, but it's a bit ugly. It could actually make it better. So let's use the technology given to us by our gracious devs and say beautiful spiral staircase. What can that be for? Let's... Do not let me forget I've done this. But I would like... I would like the water to go away. So I'll let them drink some stuff. They'll take a wee while to build. That's not a problem. Right, okay. They're probably down here. Yes, they are. probably should set this to a lower priority, if I'm honest, so let's do so. That should cover us. That means they should go get busy elsewhere. Why have you got nothing to do? Ah, because you can't get onto this side anymore, can you? Aha. That is very good, very wise. Anyone that's shouting that in the comments, thanks very much for telling me. This is probably going to cause some issues doing this, but I don't think we can hook this up to the front either. No, I don't think we can. Let's see. We've possibly soft locked this area off completely. Unless we do something particularly disgusting like that. That might work. We'll leave them to it. Anyway. These should be coming along somewhat nicely. They're not drinking fast enough because they're drinking all the juices. Well, they shouldn't have too much water left, to be honest. Do you know what? Oh, there's tons. They're not going to go through that much water. Do you know what? Just goodbye. Yes, this pains me, but goodbye. Yes, thank you. I don't like leaving them off. All right, cool beans. So I think with that done, we'll have canola coming into here, so the squeezer's going to do its job. Maple syrup should be able to quickly run down into here because it's not at minutes. That's going to be fine. That staircase can come out at this point. I think we're in a good position to kind of wrap it up here. So I will do so. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we can get the bots moving and grooving next time. That should allow us to, say, fill up some of the boring jobs and stop with this massive deficit of these guys of constantly dying on us and leaving the jobs that they should be running around in. We will also need to finish fixing up this area. It's going to require quite a lot of metal, which, you know, we've got loads of it, so it's not too much of an issue. Trees are going to have to get turned back on. 3 days for the drought, so this area is going to come back on. This would be perfect for the bots, although it looks like they are needing to plant some more of this. So this area is pretty much a sink for our beaver population, well, worker population anyway. I don't particularly like it, but needs must, I suppose. There's plenty of wood here for the time being anyway, so it's not too concerning. We also do need to plant much more wheat and canola. They are not best placed where they are, so we will also look to do that. Maybe time to do something about this area so we can get it protected and then obviously make benefit for this area. And another water dump somewhere, just to make things a little bit easier for us. Do have down here for a farm. Whether we move into that, I'm not sure, but we're kind of stuck to put a farm here. Let's bit out the way. So let me know your thoughts on where we could put something for the canola and the wheat, because there's not a lot of it. We're going to need a lot of it to keep these guys going. Got 122 of them to keep going, and all of the other bits and pieces they are going to be needing it for. But with that said, we probably need to get these guys prioritised by haulers, although there's no one in these jobs, which is impressive. Anyway, we'll fix that next time. There's some logistics we need to fix up, tidy up this area. This could actually then be converted, I suppose, to a bit more farm area if it's not doing any of this jazz. We also need to move some other bits and pieces, so we can tidy up, move things around. Maybe think about if we need to worry about bad type protection. I don't think we do anymore, so I don't know if we need this Phoenix Essence for anything else. Do let me know if you have the answer to that question. But we're kind of full in it, so just pause that for now. Anyway, that's enough of me going on and on. I will leave it here, and I will catch up with you guys the next one. If, as I said before, any comments, chuck them down below, and I'll see you later. Take care.